episode 3 of the cricketnews.com podcast with me, Sumedh Bilgi. It's been a hell of a week. It's been a brilliant week. Key highlights include RCB winning their first 2 games, which has happened only the second time. Some people on this podcast, I don't think, are very thrilled about it. Mumbai have won the first and, have lost their first and won the second, which means some people are happy about it. Some people are not. Kolkata have choked one already. And Rajasthan have 1+1 player out uh, yet again. So key highlights are that. Thank you for the podcast. No, I'm kidding. There's a lot happening. There's a lot to be spoken about, and we're also going to do a quick preview of what's to come as well, which includes a couple of double headers, venue changes for a few, etc. But I'm joined, as usual, by the boys. We're joined by Sandeepan and Avishek. Avishek, coming to you first. RCB did not need Finn Allen. How do you feel about it?
I don't know. They're winning without Finn Allen. Imagine how they'll be, how they'll perform once he's there.
Interesting. Sandeepan, how do you feel about RCB winning? First 2 games.
RCB, finally the luck is shining. But let's wait. They have played just 2 games. So, last time also RCB won 7 out of their first 10 games. So,
yeah.
I don't know how they'll eventually do, but they have at least got off to a very good start.
Yeah. For the benefit of our listeners and viewers, especially the listeners, we're recording this podcast on Thursday afternoon, April the 15th. So obviously results may vary whenever you're listening in. You could come in and listen on Sunday, on Monday, on Tuesday, and RCB could be somewhere else. Your team could be somewhere else. So keep that in mind. And as of now, RCB are at the top of the table. Yes. And followed by DC, MI, Punjab, and KKR, who looked good, but choked on their second game. All right, where do we begin? Well, let's talk about impressions about week 1. Let's first start with what does it look like? There's been no home advantage this time around. Which teams have struggled? Which teams have thrived? Avishek, let's start with you.
See, the Chennai-based teams, we have seen how they did. They made use of turning tracks. It was not a track prepared necessarily for their spinners, but they anticipated that it may be a track made for spinners and made use of it accordingly. So you can call it nobody had a home advantage, but not because nobody got to prepare the pitch, but everybody knew what they were getting. So, they chose their 11s accordingly. So, It's a home advantage for nobody and a home advantage for everybody, whichever way you want to look at it.
But as cricketers or as teams, you obviously like playing at certain grounds, right? You like certain surfaces, you like certain conditions. At this point of time, fair to say that people like Sunrisers Hyderabad have not liked playing in Chennai. They've struggled. Fair to say that teams like RCB are thriving?
Sunrisers lost their way somehow during both chases.
That's true.
They could have won. They were in positions during the chases where they could have won the matches. They let slip.
Yeah.
That Shahbaz over last night. Shahbaz bowled well. The risks were on the card. Taking risks was on the card. It was, I think Warner made a mention of it. I mean, the shots they played, you don't, 2 of the shots were slogs against the turn. Manish Pandey went for a ball without reaching the pitch of it. It is one thing to go take calculated risks, but yesterday's shots somehow defied logic. You don't get to see those shots often. That 2-3 in the same over.
Yeah, interesting. All right, before we go micro and start talking about particular teams, Sandeepan, give us a broad overview of what you've thought about week one. We saw, obviously, the tournament opened with MI versus RCB. Then we saw the Guru versus Chela sort of situation with CSK and DC. Then KKR opened their opening game. So tell us, how has it been like from Friday to Wednesday? What are your key observations about the game so far?
I mean, I expected slow tracks in Chennai, and we have seen that. I expected high scoring matches at Wankhede. That's what is happening at Wankhede. I was a bit surprised with the lack of dew probably in Chennai. But maybe there is dew, but the track is so slow that, even with the dew, the chasing teams are not getting the kind of advantage we generally see on subcontinental pitches.
Yeah.
Whereas at Wankhede, it has been a batsman paradise as expected. Yeah, I mean, look at the innings of Sanju Samson. I mean, it was it seemed like it was just a six-hitting competition, nothing else. Overall, I think still some of the teams are looking a bit rusty. Like Chennai is looking rusty. Delhi, actually, despite they won the first game, they look a bit rusty in the first game. But of course, they did not have their first choice bowling attack.
Yeah.
KKR actually, in hindsight, look good in their first game. In fact, in both the games, their bowling plans look very good. I mean, Morgan seemed very
sorted, right? Unlike last year.
Very sorted. I mean, they needed 31 of 31 with 7 wickets in hand. I mean, it was KKR's game. I mean, that was kind of a brain fade. But apart from that, KKR's bowling is looking very good. Especially the 2-over spell at the death for Russell seems like a good plan as of now. Overall, I think IPL. I mean, it hasn't been as expected. It hasn't been surprising, but we have seen some exciting contests. I think if we had one super over, then I think we should have had the ideal start of.
So we had more than one super over last time.
One thing I found unusual about the KKR approach was the role of Harbhajan Singh in the attack. In across two matches, he bowled just 3 overs.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is some sort of plan behind this. Harbhajan has a role to play, maybe as a backup sixth bowler.
Yeah.
But he will play a role. He will bowl first up. His role is yet to follow at some point in the tournament. But
and look good, right? He looked very good.
Yes,
I think
he looks good.
Giving it some good air, I think.
But somehow Morgan is holding his full quota back, despite the fact that this is a ground where Harbhajan has played.
Yeah.
So this is the ground he knows. From his Chennai Super Kings days.
Yeah.
So there must be a plan to this. Let us see what he does.
Since we're talking about, okay, Sandeepan, why don't you finish your point first? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying that when we have seen all the teams now, and couple of, I think more, we have had a couple of interesting debuts. Chetan Sakaria is probably the highlight of the week for me. Actually,
what a
story.
I
was reading his story and it was very emotional, and the hunger was showing in his performance.
But just for the benefit of our listeners and viewers, Chetan Sakaria is 22-year-old left-arm fast bowler, which you would have seen opening the bowling for Rajasthan. He comes from a place called Bhavnagar, which is a long while away from Ahmedabad. It's a small village. His father, until a few years ago, was a tempo driver, right? And now this boy has come in and he is the sole breadwinner of the house. And now his father's obviously retired and he's sitting back enjoying a retired life. But while all of this was going well, he lost his younger brother and yet has risen up the ranks. He played for Saurashtra. Sorry, not for Saurashtra. He played Saurashtra, right? Saurashtra, yeah.
So, Saurashtra, yeah.
So continue playing for Saurashtra.
He is not even the main left-arm fast bowler in Saurashtra.
There you go.
Yeah.
The main left-arm fast bowler is in the Royal squad, and he didn't get picked.
Yes.
We're talking about Nadkar. And they picked Sakaria above him, and he showed us why. He showed us why in the first game versus Punjab. Incredible.
A fantastic player. Forget the bowling. You've seen the catch.
Yeah, I saw the catch.
Fantastic.
Short fine leg. Beautiful
in
catch.
In a game where everybody was missing, everything.
Yes. That is another thing I noticed. Too many catches have gone down, and several spectacular catches have been held.
Yeah.
In the same match, Arshdeep took a fantastic catch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cotton bowled.
Just wondering, what do you guys think about Sanju Samson not taking that single?
That was
moment
number one. Let's go. Yeah.
They needed 5 of the last 2 balls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if he ran the single, Morris would have had to hit a 4. That is a bare minimum.
Yeah.
You can't run a 3 in Wankhede. But if he took that dot, the minimum Sanju would have needed was also a 4 to push the match. So the probability of Sanju hitting a 4 was more than the probability of Morris hitting the 4. So it was a calculated thing he did.
Given where Morris was batting at, also he was batting at a strike rate.
Morris
of 50.
was not timing.
Yeah, he was batting at a strike rate of 50, 3 from 6 balls at that time.
Yeah.
So all in agreement.
I think Rajasthan were a bit complacent after they needed 69 or something 70 odd runs in the last 5 overs, and they needed 22 of the last 2. So they thought, okay, fine, ye ho jayega. Matlab, they thought that his game is ours, and they took it. They were a bit complacent in the probably in the penalty overs.
Tewatia and Morris couldn't get the singles.
Yeah.
That was a problem.
Yeah, the lower middle order didn't get going.
I mean, we should not take any credit away from Akshdeep. The way he executed his wide Yorkers, especially the last ball, brilliant.
One person who impressed me during that chase was Riyan Parag. I have seen Riyan Parag in 2019, 2020. He's a very talented batsman, but he had not hit them as cleanly in the previous 2 seasons. He hit them right from the beginning, from the middle of the bat, outrageous shots this time.
I saw noticeable change in technique as well. I think he was much more compact, right?
Yes.
Much better head position, better elbow position.
So he has worked on his batting. He was, mind you, he was very talented. He batted well, but this is probably on a different level. Let us see.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking
Especially
about
the 6 he hit, and also the 6 Surya hit against Pat Cummins. The way he timed the ball. I mean,
the subcontinental players ko aap pads pe dalo to breakfast, lunch and dinner.
That was not a bad ball at all. 141 kph.
For me, the shot so far is Shubman Gill versus, who was it? The one left arm seamer, Natarajan. The on drive for ball. 6. Oh,
yeah.
For me, the shot of the tournament so far came in the same match. Abdul Samad coming out, hitting Pat Cummins for 6.
First ball, yeah.
I'm telling you, Australian media have gone bonkers. Who is this kid who's hitting Australia's number 1 fast bowler for 6 on the first ball?
But I think Pat Cummins is not the ideal bowler for you, especially in the death overs.
Well,
especially in Chennai.
Well, they've used him in the middle now. I mean,
especially in Chennai. He can bowl. In Mumbai, he might have been a different proposition altogether.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So before we drift off, right? Let's come back to Rajasthan Royals. And obviously, he was not. I mean, his involvement was not major in that game. But now Ben Stokes is out of the IPL. By the time our listeners or viewers watch this or hear this, Rajasthan might announce a replacement. So treat this as a parlor game. We are going to talk about who can Rajasthan get in to replace Stokes, because it is a big gaping hole. Remember, they've already lost the services of Archer. Losing Stokes again is really heartbreaking for Rajasthan, a team that looks very impressive yet again under a new captain. All right. So Stokes is out. Who comes in? And what are the rules, Sandeepan? First, tell us what are the rules for replacement, right? Because you can't just get anybody else on the planet.
So you have to take someone who were in part of that auction pool. So probably he's unsold, or probably his name was not up for initially selected for the auction. So you have to take from take someone from that list. I'm just wondering, is Thisara Pereira's name there in that
Yes,
list?
yes. I was also wondering about Thisara Pereira only.
So Thisara Pereira can be one option. I think the other option can be Carlos Brathwaite. But ideal option for me, Thisara Pereira. He can play the role of a finisher. He can bowl to good 2-3 overs. And he's a much more effective bowler on these kind of pitches than Stokes. And I think he can, I mean, he's a very good finisher. So in that case, Josh Butler can
And
go to the top.
Thisara, when he gets going, it is very difficult to stop him.
Yeah.
And he somehow manages to pick wickets. He goes for runs, but somehow or the other he picks wickets. I think he is one of only 7 cricketers who have done the 1,000 runs, 50 wickets doubles in T20 internationals.
That's correct. That's correct. Okay, just to play devil's advocate, right? At this point of time, are we seeing Ben Stokes, the bowler, involved for Rajasthan as much? In that regard, right, you already have 5 bowlers that Rajasthan carry with themselves at this point, right? So if we are not seeing Ben Stokes bowling, why don't you go out for an out-and-out slam bang batter who can bat anywhere in the order? And therefore, Devon Conway entered. Mr. Devon Conway, Mr. New Zealand, along with Finn Allen. So okay, why not Devon Conway? Is that something that we could possibly see? Does he fit in?
Yeah. If they go for that out and out hitter, they can obviously go for him. There's no doubt about it. But the question is whether Rajasthan also want 4 overs from that person. See,
there are much. I think,
Morris batting at 8 may be a bit too low.
It is.
Morris at 7 is fine. So the other option is whether Rajasthan may want to go with a bowling all-rounder, a bowler who can bat.
Because we're seeing teams carry 6-7 bowlers this IPL. That is something we are seeing. Most of them are preferring carrying a lot of options. And this has happened after a while. Remember in IPL 2008, 9, 10, we had teams that batted till 9, till 8, till 9, till 10. Now we're seeing how the bowlers are making a comeback, right? That's something we're seeing. Bowlers are dictating a lot this time around.
Yeah.
So much happening.
A lot of perceptions have changed about T20 cricket.
Yeah.
When it was launched, we thought it would be a young cricketers game. It turns out that older cricketers are doing a lot better in this format than in other formats. They are playing T20 well in their 40s, but in other formats they are giving up after 30s. After their 30s, by around mid 30s and 30s, they're retiring and playing T20 cricket in their early 40s and are doing well at it. So yeah.
Okay.
Before we move on, is there any other name we're looking at for Stokes' replacement at Rajasthan?
If we consider out and out batsman, I'll probably go for either Finch or Martin Guptill. Finch is is an IPL veteran, so he can do the job. His experience as a captain will come handy for Sanju. So Finch can be a good option. And the problem with one good thing about if he comes in with Rajasthan, that his place at the top will be more or less secure. He won't be under some sort of an insecurity that if I don't play,
that's a good point. That's a very good
point.
So
what happens then? He can play his natural game, which we generally see at the international level. So
Rakeem Cornwall wasn't there, right?
Huh?
Rakeem Cornwall wasn't there.
No,
right?
Rakeem Cornwall.
He hit sixes for fun in CPL.
He's crazy. He's crazy. Yeah, he's absolutely crazy. But I mean, Rajasthan can use an off-spinning option now. They don't.
Rajasthan.
Riyan Parag is going round down.
I've grown to believe that Rajasthan hates finger spinners. I don't know why. They just don't pick finger spinners at all.
Yeah. Strange. Very strange. Sairaj Bhautule has something to do with that, perhaps. All right.
Shane Warne and Sairaj Bhautule. I don't know.
No idea. No idea why. Interesting. Lot of names, but like we said, I mean, by the time you hear this or watch this, Rajasthan would have probably already acquired somebody's services. But hey, these are just our opinions. Also, Pereira might come in because of the Sangakkara factor. Huh? So you don't be surprised
Yeah,
if you see a Sri Lankan coming into this Rajasthan team. Don't be surprised. Okay,
like for like replacement, like for like
Hmm.
replacement.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we were talking about younger folks and more experienced folks, and one experienced person did well. Good first impression. Suresh Raina at Chennai Super Kings. How good was he? And what are our Chennai Super Kings fans in
Can I say it was
expectation of?
expected?
Was it expected?
Raina returning to play for CSK on Indian soil. I mean, when
Emotional.
have you seen that? When have you seen that combination fail? Raina playing for CSK on Indian soil. When have you seen this fail? That doesn't happen. It was unexpected lines.
Sandeepan?
I'm recalling one statement of my friend. He recently said that if Raina can bail CSK out, the chances of Raina bailing CSK out this season is lower than the chances of snowing in Mumbai. So, you know, I think the Delhi attack was not that good against a quality attack. Raina will struggle.
Interesting. Well,
I mean, look at his.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he hasn't played any cricket apart from few games in the Syed Mustaq Ali, and over there also he's failed horribly. So overall, I think against a quality bowling attack, Raina will struggle.
But I was impressed with how he took on Ashwin and Mishra. He didn't let them settle. Smashed.
Yeah,
And I think these are two guys who have quality spinners, right? That is
yeah.
one thing
But
I think.
Wankhede is at one venue where spin hasn't
Yeah,
been
it doesn't
much.
work.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work much. Okay. So what's up ahead for CSK? What's up ahead for CSK? Let's just take a quick look at where at the schedule, and you'd realize
Yeah.
that obviously they're playing Punjab on Friday, and later they're playing on Monday versus Rajasthan, and then they're playing KKR on Wednesday.
So they are playing 5 matches at Wankhede most probably, and now
Yeah.
they will play four more games. Uh, against a team which has a better pace bowling attacks, I still believe CSK will struggle.
Clearly looked like they lack pace, right? I think one
They'll
thing really to look toothless versus in that. I mean, they put
Yeah,
up 180 plus, not a small score, but look toothless.
yeah. I mean they have to play Ngidi, but I guess he won't be available for the second game as well. So he
Berendorf,
won't be available for Punjab.
Berendorf's available. I think
Is
replacement.
he?
I think he should
I don't
be.
know. I mean, they should be at this point, along with base price and final selling price, they also should be publishing a daily update on how many days left to quarantine.
That's true.
I mean,
Absolutely.
it's easier. I mean, that is that is one data we can do with.
Yeah. Please release daily quarantine rules and updates.
Yeah.
Quick player to all people listening in who are part of franchisees, who are part of the IPL governing body and the council. Please, for the love of God, for all of us people in the media, release dates of people's arrivals, their quarantines, and their release dates. So it becomes easy for us to.
Yeah, I mean, come on. We have to make likely 11s. We have to do previews. The entire media is.
Oh no, and also the fans, the fans deserve to know, right? Who's
course.
available.
Yeah.
Of course they do.
100%. I think this is going to be one of the key highlights of this episode. Please release quarantine updates. Very important. Okay, speaking of quarantine updates, we were talking about Jason Behrendorff, right? Let's quickly wrap up CSK before we head off. Obviously, they're playing in Mumbai and they're playing Punjab, right? A team that has really enjoyed playing in Mumbai. Rajasthan, again
And
a
they
team
have a
that
good record.
again a
They
team
have a
that
good
enjoyed
record.
playing. And sorry, go on.
I mean,
Sandeep.
Punjab has a good record against Chennai, especially KL Rahul, and so watch
Yeah.
out for them.
Yeah, 100%. And they're also playing. So Punjab, Rajasthan, two teams that have really enjoyed playing on this surface, right? It suits them like anything. And then Kolkata again on Wednesday. Well, okay. So prediction time. Where are Chennai going to be at the end of week 2? Let's go.
Not in
Midway,
the top
around maybe outside the top 4, but around 5th, 6th place.
So what are the
Yeah,
teams
yeah.
what are the matches they're winning, Abhishek?
They'll of course beat Rajasthan because I support Rajasthan.
Chennai will beat Rajasthan. They will have a good game against Kolkata, but this time Kolkata will have the upper hand, I believe. Apart from that, they will lose against probably the other. I mean, Punjab, they will lose.
Punjab, they will lose. Okay.
They don't have the bowling attack to tackle the
Yeah.
Punjab batting lineup. And just wondering, what is your first impression of the Punjab's two Aussie bowling pace bowlers?
They got a
I didn't
Tika
get that. First impression of Punjab?
bowling attack. Punjab's bowling attack.
I mean-
I think the first impression, I'll tell you the first impression. Sanju Samson, right, has taken an Aarti Thali. And Tika, welcome to India. Welcome to the toughest league in the world. Congratulations, you're here. You might be the most successful bowlers in the Big Bash.
Yeah.
Welcome to India.
They will adjust.
Yeah.
They have
I
done
mean,
well.
space-
This
Spain-
is this was a lesson on a flat Wankhede
Yeah.
pitch, but they will definitely adjust. They
You
are
know
very
what
good.
impressed me? I was very impressed by how Jai Richardson got Butler. Very
Yep.
impressed. Oh, so first ball, right, 130 clicks, and then he yorked him. Second ball, cutter 109 kilometers per hour. Again, slower yorker.
Yeah.
That was something. That was a good representation of skill. But yeah, what do you think? Let's conclude. Let's talk about Punjab.
I mean, I think Riley merited it. I think he will take few more games to adjust to these kind of pitches. His length was all over the place,
Yeah.
and he was just giving those freebies, those hit me balls. So I would have played. I think Chris Jordan. He has recently played against India and done well, relatively well. He can chip in with the bat in hand
Yeah,
as
low
well.
middle
I would
order
have-
option.
And more than that, I was also wondering why Ravi Bishnoi was not in their playing 11. He was probably the best bowler in last year, and they picked M. Ashwin ahead of Ravi Bishnoi. So maybe he was not fit, or
Who's the
maybe
other spinner they played?
M. Ashwin.
Okay, they played only one spinner. I don't think.
Yeah.
They played, so I think they played one more spinner. I think, but
No,
yeah,
no, no,
but
they played-
Bishnoi wasn't there.
M. Ashwin was the lone. I mean, Deepak Huda can bowl, but
Oh, hello. Yeah, we have to talk about Deepak Hooda. We have to talk about Deepak Hooda, of course.
I have seen some social media memes.
Kunal
where-
Pandya and Sandipan are probably on the same side on this.
No, I was just seeing. I have seen some social media memes on that. That
Yeah.
probably on that ball he saw the face of Kunal Pandya.
Oh, yo. Oh. But on a serious note, well, how impressive! I mean, came ahead of Puran. We never expected that, right? We never expected that. Very
I
impressive.
think he played a similar sort of a knock, not as destructive as this one. In the few games in the last game, probably last year, I think he scored something around 40 balls, 62 or something like that,
Yeah.
and it was a match-winning knock actually. So I mean, Deepak Hooda, it's good to see that people like Deepak Hooda is coming into the scheme of things, playing more active roles in a franchisee like Kings XI Punjab, because in these kind of franchises you'll get more games and there are better chances of getting noticed by the national selectors. And let's not forget, we'll have an extended World T20 squad, so there will be places up for grabs on that extended World T20 squad.
Yeah.
There are in the current Indian team, apart from Hardik Pandya, as we have already discussed, there are not enough power hitters. Those who can come in and just play all over, play their national game.
Yeah.
There are more anchor players.
That's correct. Also, what's coming up next week? Let's talk about what's coming up next week. And of course, this Sunday will be the first double header. We're going to start again with double headers, which means the media industry is not going to have any sleep. All of our Sundays are gone. Thank you very much, IPL. But okay, but it also means we're going to enjoy some extra cricket on the weekends. So Sunday is the first double header, and then Wednesday also is a double header.
versus RCB.
Yeah, there are some midweek double headers.
Yeah, this time there are midweek double headers, Wednesday as well. So the first double header on Sunday is RCB KKR, and then you have Delhi and Punjab. And then Wednesday, you have KKR CSK and RCB RR. No, sorry.
Huge
Punjab SRH and KKR CSK. Yeah.
huge game. Two huge games for KKR. RCB and Punjab.
Right.
RCB and CSK.
Right?
There is a rivalry between CSK and KKR and RCB. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a rivalry between KKR and everyone.
Yeah,
KKR
probably
fans look at
no.
everyone as a rival.
KKR can't have a rivalry with Mumbai. I mean, looking at the record, I can't call that a rivalry.
Yeah, it's not.
This is unlike. This is completely opposite of Rajasthan Royals, who don't think
Yeah.
anyone of them, anyone as their rivals.
Yeah. The nice.
See, even if
good boys.
Rajasthan,
Yeah,
even
good
if
boys.
Rajasthan Royals lose a match, they lost to Punjab, you'd see the neutral fans coming and supporting Rajasthan Royals fans.
Yeah. Rajasthan
And
Royals
the
is
work
probably
behind.
Rajasthan Royals is the New Zealand of IPL, or
100%.
probably I can say Rajasthan Royals is the Rahul Dravid of IPL.
बस गुस्सा आता है फिर राहुल द्रविड़ को भी गुंडा बन जाता है राहुल द्रविड़ also becomes a gunda.
No, after the end, I did a social media poll. I think who was the real Indiranagar ka gunda, whether it was ABD or Rahul Dravid.
I think some of AB de Villiers' shots when he's played at Chinnaswamy have reached Indiranagar for sure. This time also he's sending balls out of the park.
Even at this age, no match is over until you get AB de Villiers.
Yeah. I mean, and it was interestingly, he did not play a single game, not even a practice. I mean, not even a domestic or any other league game. Coming into this IPL. So last IPL he was his last assignment. Then he came straight back to the IPL.
Well, you don't you don't do these things with if you're AB de Villiers, you don't do these things. Yeah.
I hope that he will come out of retirement and play this year's World T20.
Oh. Well, with the mess that CSA is in, I doubt it. I honestly doubt it. All right. Okay.
I think he has shown interest, so that's one positive thing we can talk about.
Okay. Do we have our schedules with us? Let's quickly take a look at what's going to come in the week before we wrap this up. What is it that we're looking to? What do we want to see in the coming week? Right, we're obviously recording this on the Thursday, but from Saturday, Sunday, double headers onwards, there are double headers, etc. What is it? What are the couple of things that we are looking forward to seeing from the teams in the coming week? Sandeepan, you want to go first?
Yeah. So probably first thing I'd like to see that teams which are chasing in Chennai, they need to finish games. They have to play. They play a completely different game in the first 10 overs, and then the back 10 their game just goes for a toss. So I hope that teams will learn from their mistakes and now they will start finishing matches. But again, interestingly, Chennai, it will be interesting to see how on a day game the Chennai pitch behaves. And even at the night games, looking at the results, do you think captains will now think twice before preferring to chase in Chennai?
I mean, they should, right? Because it's gone against them. It's not worked, right? They've always estimated that they will be able to do it, but it's not worked. Essentially, teams batting first have now started getting better results.
Yeah, I mean, 150 is has been a winning score in Chennai.
Yeah, that's true. Abhishek, what are you looking at? What are you looking at for the coming week?
All Rajasthan matches.
Of course.
And Bangalore if Finn Allen plays.
Yeah. Is it time for us to write a petition to Bangalore and say, please get in Finn Allen?
Yes. Finn Allen has to play. Indian fans need to have a look at Finn Allen.
But
with the form Glenn Maxwell is in, I can't see.
But on a serious note, Dan Christian, I think that slot. I mean, Dan Christian adds balance to the side.
Yeah, he does.
But that slot is something they need to look carefully into. Maybe too soon. He'll probably get another couple of chances, but let us see.
Just wondering. At the start, we were looking at the Chennai pitch. We were very excited, and we thought that it would suit ideally for the SRH game. But now they have lost 2 matches on the venue. What do you think they have?
I think they may need to pick Williamson, but for that they need to leave out. They can't leave out Rashid Khan, of course. They can't leave out David Warner. That means they have to leave out Johnny Bairstow, who is in form. We know that, or they have to leave out a bowler.
Holder.
either Holder or I don't know. I mean, where Williamson can fit in. They have to leave out Bairstow if they want to bring in Williamson, but even that will be a difficult move. So Williamson will probably have to sit outside. Sit out. I mean, I don't know. Same
I
way
think,
as
at Chennai, I think you have to play Williamson. I think Jason Holder as a bowler, I know he can bowl those 4 overs, but as a batsman, he won't add much value.
yeah, they have to
Uh,
pick Nabi. Nabi is also a more seasoned T20I batsman.
Yeah. But Nabi is, I think he is not 100% at this point. He was hit at the neck.
The other thing is KKR. KKR has the same problem. They probably would have wanted to pick Narayan ahead of Harbhajan, but they cannot do that change because that will mean
Shakib.
again that 7-4 combination. So
Yeah.
currently,
But I think KKR probably bowled. I think KKR's bowling is looking probably best as of now. It's looking like the best bowling attack in the tournament.
yes, but the question is, if you pick someone like Harbhajan Singh who will bat at probably 9, is it worth to make him bowl 2 overs? Or if you look at the other way, if you are not giving him more than 2 overs, should you be investing in a batsman who can bowl instead?
I think their batting is, on paper, they have a very good batting lineup. They can bat until number 8. So,
On the other hand, they can bat until number 8, but their real, Rana and Tripathi played really well against Hyderabad, but the real, heavy artillery begins at 4.
Yeah.
So
Morgan, Saqib,
regarding that.
Morgan, Saqib, Russell, Karthik. I think that's a good batting lineup.
It's a very
Of
good
course,
lineup.
Russell is not doing well. He's looking completely out of sorts. That's another.
Yeah, because what has happened is Russell is currently, given his batting form and bowling form, he is right now a bowler who bats.
He's a bowler who bats.
Yeah.
And he and Harbhajan, between them, are bowling 4 overs. And between them, you get a batsman who is unlikely to bat and another who is not in form. So basically, they are giving you 4 overs between them, but not much batting. So do they need to get in a batsman who can bowl? That is the question.
I heard a we
but
there.
I
heard a
think-
we.
Yeah, I'm not my team. Yeah.
I think Russell will do well in other venues than Chennai. Probably he will do well in Mumbai.
Probably, right? And that's something that we have to remember, because I initially thought someone like a Williamson will be more suited to Chennai than Bairstow. Bairstow likes space on the ball, and Williamson is someone who brings stability, busy player, can play around. So pick players for venues. And the one thing that I don't understand from Sunrisers' point of view is you pick Nabi because you know that you need more spinners on this surface, and he gives you some runs with the bat as well, lower down the order. Now, after one game, why do you change that? Why do you bring in?
No, he was not fit.
I think he has an injury in the neck or something.
Yeah. So he was hit, I think.
What I didn't get
When
from
he got it.
Sunrisers' perspective is Bairstow is one of the most feared limited overs batsmen. You are picking him. You are opening batting with Warner and Saha. I understand Saha has a very good power play batting record in the IPL. But if Saha gets out early, why not utilize the power play overs with Bairstow? Why send Manish Pandey ahead of him? That is why get Manish Pandey to play in the power play overs ahead of Bairstow.
They've been very kind too.
That I'm not very comfortable with.
Yeah, I think Sunrisers have been very kind on Manish Pandey. Really.
I think they don't want to tamper with his position, number 3 position. So they have given him the freedom.
If you don't want Warner and Bairstow out there, if you don't want that to take that risk, you can always promote someone like Samad in the power play overs.
Yeah, of course.
You can go over the top basically in the power play overs.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're talking so much about Sunrisers only because they find themselves at the bottom of the table when we are recording this. And
Also, come on, everybody likes Sunrisers.
And it's a team we
They are
thought,
one of the
everybody
hated sides in the tournament.
100%.
Why?
And we also thought they'll do well in Chennai.
I thought Sunrisers probably is one of the most.
Say that again. I think anyway. So I think Sunrisers. Yeah, we're talking about Sunrisers. So the next team that Sunrisers are going to take on is Mumbai.
Oh no.
Well. Is this the time to reintroduce Kane into the team? I don't think so. Not the team you want to.
Mumbai does not have a Chennai. If Chennai results are being determined by spinners, and Sunrisers, if you consider the squad, probably has a better spin attack than Mumbai.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it may not be as simple.
But this is what happens in the league, right? We've seen this so often. We've seen when teams are not going through a good patch, they're always coming up against a tough run of fixtures. It's happening for Hyderabad. And now suddenly Kolkata are also going to play Bangalore next.
And I think Mumbai is not looking the Mumbai we saw last year. I mean, it is looking very rusty.
Yeah,
Their
but
bowling
that is
attack-
another thing. They will
Matter of
move
time.
out of Chennai after a couple of more matches, I think.
Matter of time.
So
I think
then
it's a matter of
everything
time.
will change.
Yeah.
They will suddenly move to a faster wicket, and then their fast bowlers will come into play.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the entire scenario will change after that.
That is something that our
Good to-
viewers and listeners should know. Like the manner in which our discussions are going at this point of time, the league is going at this point of time will change. Remember, we are shifting to different venues entirely after 2 weeks. So teams that are looking down at this point may suddenly start looking good there, and vice
Yeah.
versa as well.
The sixes you see in Wankhede
Yeah.
won't be happening in Ahmedabad
Kolkata.
or Kolkata.
Yeah, won't happen. Yeah.
So that is going to
Kolkata, it
change.
will be a fast wicket. Kolkata, I think teams like Mumbai or even KKR, they will enjoy. No, KKR is not obviously will not play in
Yeah.
Kolkata. Teams
Yeah.
like Mumbai will enjoy Kolkata. Again, say CSK will struggle in Kolkata.
Yeah.
It will be a fast wicket. So CSK will probably enjoy playing at Delhi, Kotla, or probably at Ahmedabad.
They're only going to play in Delhi on 28th of April, which is
Oh no.
yeah. So there is time, but I think until Until Sunday, 25th of April, the teams are going to be playing in these venues, and after that
Yeah.
only will the caravan move to Ahmedabad and Delhi at this point.
Yeah.
So,
And I think from just one more point I would like to highlight
Yeah.
is that is Mumbai. Good to see that Mumbai giving young Marco Jensen some matches initially, because obviously their first choice, third seamer is NCN, right? Nathan
NCN.
Coulter-Nine.
mhm.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they are not playing him at this point. Probably they are preserving him for the later leg. So Marco Jensen, so far he has looked impressive, especially the last over he bowled in the first game against the likes of A.V. de Villiers.
Yeah.
Okay, looks like a good investment for the future.
Marco Jansen and with Kyle Jameson, two of Sandeepan's early pickouts, doing very well indeed. Well done,
Jamieson,
Sandeepan.
I don't think he has. Jamieson is probably he will struggle when
I
once
think
we
he
move out
did
of
well. I think he bowled well in the first game.
well.
Bowled well in the first
But
game.
on faster wickets, probably he will struggle.
Perhaps.
Yes, especially in Kolkata, I think he will pose more problems than he has been doing in Chennai.
Perhaps so. Chennai doesn't offer a lot for your seamers, so anyway, your seam bowlers will struggle. Okay, so by the time the next episode rolls out, right, it's going to be April 23rd. So, what are our predictions for the week to come? The week from 16th to 23rd. What do you think we are going to see? We are still going to be in Mumbai. We are still going to be in Chennai. That is one thing that we know, right? And with where the teams are, what are our predictions? What's going to be a top four looking like, and what's the bottom 3-4 going to look like? Sandeepan, go.
Delhi,
RCB,
Punjab, Mumbai, Kolkata. Not in that order, but Delhi, Punjab, Mumbai, Kolkata.
Delhi,
That's
Punjab,
what
Mumbai,
I
Kolkata.
can say.
No Bangalore. So Bangalore are going to slip up.
Bangalore. I think. I mean, make that top 5. Add Bangalore.
Okay, Sandeepan.
I'm not sure about Delhi at this point because of because Nokia will not be available because he has now COVID
Yeah, it's
positive.
tested positive.
He has been
Yeah.
tested positive. Yeah.
Mhm.
So Chris Oakes, obviously, he's a very good replacement. But I would like to see whether the likes of Rabada and Oakes, whether they can have the same sort of impact like they did with the Nokia Rabada pair had last year.
Notia is gone. Notia is out for 7 days.
7 days, yeah.
He's down. He's tested positive.
So he's going to miss. He's going to miss 2 games at least, or 3 games actually. He's going to miss.
What I would really like to see is a bowler taking the pace of the ball against Dhawan and Shaw.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Well,
someone like Harshal Patel can do a good job against them.
Yeah.
They got a lot on offer, right? I mean, I think CSK really looked toothless. But I think, honestly, I thought that CSK struggled because they did not have an out-and-out pacer in their attack, right? No fast bowler.
Yes. And also, see, Dhawan got the Player of the Match award, but I think Shaw found an incredible amount of time before he played every ball. He was not even... he was not even stretching to reach the ball. He was just watching the ball earlier. You always get the feeling when you watch Shaw back.
Yeah.
You can see how he got those runs in Vijay Hazare.
Yeah.
He's a different batsman from what we saw in Australia.
Oh, it's scary. If he feels like the quality of the attack is as good as the Vijay Hazare, then we're in for I don't know what. Because we were wondering where the runs are going to come for Delhi this year with no Shreyas Iyer as well. Is Shaw the guy this year? Could be. All right. Okay. Let's wrap it up. Before we wrap up, Abhishek, can you please repeat your top 4 by your predictions for the top 4?
I mentioned the top 5, but
top 5.
I think Delhi, Punjab, Mumbai, Kolkata, and Bangalore. I'll leave Mumbai out of it. Delhi, Punjab, Kolkata and Bangalore.
So no Mumbai in your 4 come April 23rd?
Not after 1 week.
Not after 1 week.
I think Mumbai are still picking up. But that has always held for Mumbai, remember? They typically do better in the second half of the tournament. This may be one of those editions where Mumbai will have a stop-start early phase, then they'll pick things up.
Yeah, they don't like to spend their energy in the first half of the league.
Yeah.
They think okay, chal, playoff to khella hi hai hame.
Yeah.
So let's.
All right, Sandeepan, what's your 4 looking like by the end of April 23rd?
Well, RCB, Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata.
Oh, interesting. Kolkata figures in everyone's top 5 here.
Yeah,
because Kolkata are trying things differently.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They have a clear-cut plan to their bowling attack, and the weak point of Kolkata that we thought was weak. The weak point of Kolkata was their top 3, which lacked experience. But now that top 3 is coming through thanks to Nitish Rana's form.
Yeah.
Because in the last episode, I think I mentioned someone like Shakib moving to the top or something. But now they don't need that, given how Rana and Tripathi have... Tripathi batted the first match, Rana in 2 matches. So that is something they have addressed. They lost 1 match, going for out-and-out stroke play. Probably something they could have done differently, but that is how Morgan has... got England to play limited overs cricket. That is how Brendan McCullum used to play his cricket.
Yeah.
Always attack. So I think that mantra is something you'll see in KKR this year.
But I don't think they were following that mantra. Otherwise, someone like Dinesh Karthik would have attacked Kunal Pandya in his last 2 overs when they needed 30 or 29
some of it is down to instinct.
4.
Right, some of it is down to instinct and conditions as well.
Yeah.
Russell was playing with the dead bat against Kunal Pandya. I don't know. Kunal Pandya was not. He was not Muthaiya Muralidharan, of course.
Kunal Pandya is in the top 10 in economy rate in the history of IPL.
But Abhishek, we know that we know
Also
where.
in the top 10 in terms of batting strike rate.
But Abhishek, we know where Sandeepan sits on the Krunal Pandya versus Deepak Hooda debate, so we can just we can just leave that aside.
I was very disappointed when they played that over against Kunal Pandya. I mean, especially someone like Russell, he would have taken his chance. I think he did once. He tried once. The catch
One
which
thing they
Bumrah
can
missed.
do is give Russell more time in the middle.
Exactly. I think you should. This batting lineup is not dependent on Russell, so let's unleash him at the probably at number 4.
He
Why
is
can't
not
he-
Andre Russell of 2019. He is probably different. He still has that ability, but he probably need more balls before he can unleash himself. So probably it may not be a bad idea to give him more balls to face.
Yeah. Morgan can bat down the order. Yeah, Morgan, Shakib, Karthik can be the finisher.
Well, this
Russell
is
can be used as a floater.
okay. Yeah. All right. Now this is it's okay. It's okay. This is just how it is. We never stop talking about Kolkata. We never stop talking about Chennai. That's just people on the podcast here for you. But no, it's a team that's good. Anyway, that's that on episode 3 of the podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for all the love. We've received a lot of love on this podcast in the first 2 episodes. Keep the love coming in. Keep it coming in. Keep revisiting us. And please fill in the petition, link in the bio to get Finn Allen into RCB's 11. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching.